So we have our second finalist. It is Bath. They beat Sale 31-23. And I think they deserve it. I think they were the all-round better side, although Sale came back into it, but then they just fell away a bit at the end as well. So they'll be gutted, but Bath deserving winners, and they're in that final against Northampton. It's going to be a cracker. So let's look at some of the themes in this game and also have an eye on that England tour. Who impressed? Because that is half of what these reports are always about anyway. And interesting at the beginning, Bath going to the kick first of all. In fact, this was more of a kick-heavy game than the first semi-final between Saracens and Northampton. The first two Bath kicks, though, weren't that great. Finn Russell, crossfield kick was too short. Then Ben Spencer's box kick was too long. But luckily, Visa and Rod decide to change their lines to get a block and obstruction on Thokanasiga. So they actually get 3-0 from two poor Bath kicks. So that's a decent return for Bath at the beginning. And mentioning that all-important scrum, you know I like the English propping pair of Rod and Harper. They're young, they're improving. But I think Abano and Thomas Totoy were a step up, and they definitely had them struggling early on. In the first semi-final, Northampton scrum was very dominant, maybe not quite as dominant in this game, but I think Bath definitely will be happier in the scrum, although it did go backwards and forwards a little bit. Finn Russell, you could see he was absolutely honest. I mean, sometimes in games he drifts around a bit, looks a bit lethargic, but not today. He was racing around everywhere, quick hands, frees their best winger, who is their flanker, Ted Hill. He explodes through three Sale defenders. Russell again, he selects himself as the runner, and then back to Hill, who latches onto a Spencer chip kick for an amazing try. But that was the Russell and Hill show, really. And what you've got to love about Russell is he plays what's in front of him. When the runner was needed, he was the man to take that ball on and keep Sale moving backward. So definitely not pre-decided. You've got to love that from Russell. So that was a top try. They missed the conversion. 8-0, nice and quickly. They do love the high bomb though, but I'm not sure Sale are the best side to high bomb, but they both tried it all day. Carpenter, Roebuck looking pretty good at the back, and I think Joe Carpenter especially stepped up in this game, and England selectors will go, okay, he's a serious all-rounder, some really good high ball work. We know that Tom Roebuck is good under the high ball anyway. George Ford is trying to get Sale popping at the beginning of this match, but they are a bit too frantic, dropping the ball over the place as Bath do swarm them. So a bit of Bath swarming them, a bit of being too over-enthusiastic for Sale. Early on, can't get that game going, but a good penalty kick from George Ford, an absolute laser, gets Sale to within 5 metres. Good opportunity and a perfectly executed maul. They just roll round the front of that line out twice with their maul. Stay bound, stay strong, slick drive. Nice try for Ben Curry, 8-5. So they needed that just as the game was slipping away a little bit. And neither team are keen to run the ball. Like I said, they're really waiting for that favourable situation, that turnover, that mistake, fairly cagey, until we have a low spinning kick from Will Muir, gets a 50-22. And again, Will Muir played very well. He's right in that mix to go on the England Summer Tour. Hasn't got that express pace, but he's a real pain in the arse. Really good on the chase, good under the high ball as well. Another strong contender. I'm sure he'd look good in an international setting. And then when they're in that favourable situation from the 50-22, Bath spring into life and launch two of their power men. Ollie Lawrence first of all, who powers through a tackle and gets free on the ground so he can pop off the floor to Barbary, charging onto it, causes absolute havoc. That 1-2 just kills Sale. They're up to within a metre and just pick and go until Urbano powers over. So too much power and really danger signs for Sale there, because they slipped off tackles they really shouldn't do if they want to win this match. Tommy Taylor, Robert Dupree, Ben Curry all falling off tackles there, and they need to make those. So 15-5, Sale will be disappointed with that one. And that 10-point gap has definitely woken up Sale. They're upping the urgency, trying to run the ball from less favourable situations. But an unlucky clear-out penalty from Dugdale actually gives Finn Russell a big penalty option, as in 50 metres out, and he absolutely nails it. 18-5, that one was painful just when Sale was starting to get back into it. But in the last 10 minutes, Sale are on it, they're coming back into it, and they have some good chances, and they'll definitely rue not making the most of some of these chances. Sam James gets a 2-on-1 wide on the right, but he mistimes his pass, doesn't draw Gallagher, who makes a brilliant cover tackle. That was impressive. Then another chance on the left as Robert Dupree puts in a lovely delayed pass to work in O'Flaherty. He steps Cokanasiga, but a brilliant cover tackle from Ollie Lawrence, who comes from nowhere to make this sliding textbook low tackle. That was two big moments that Bath get away or work their way out of a try-scoring chance for Sale. That was impressive. It's not quite happening from open play for Sale, but the maul is working, spot on once again. Bath compete 5 metres from their line, which looks like a mistake in hindsight, and they get caught out short on the counter drive, and again they roll down the front for a Taylor try. So painful for Bath to concede in the same way twice, and Sale really vital they get back into it 18-12. Good wide conversion from Ford, and Sale continue to finish the half strong with a good Roebuck break, and Underhill just can't help but nibble on the floor, playing on the floor for a cheap penalty. So actually from being 13 points down, it's 18-15, so that's a great comeback from Sale to be just within 3 points at half time. Into the second half, and Joe Carpenter continues to impress. High ball, counter-attack. He looks like, is he pushing to be George Furbank's understudy? Let me know. The scrum is going backwards and forwards. On 45 minutes, Sale get one back to square it all up at 18-all. And we get the first sight for ages of Tom Curry coming onto the pitch. He looked full of energy and running, strong as an ox. So we had double Curry there. That was exciting. And then I think the man of the match he was Will Muir with some brilliant work from the restart. He ignores the dummy lift, which a lot of people would have gone for, goes beyond the dummy lift to get the tap back. So he's definitely in that battle for that wing spot for England for sure. And Bath camp on the Sale line, and Sale will be very happy with some good defence, holding up over the line to only concede 3 points. So Bath swing back straight into the lead again. And then on 51 minutes, what a moment. Bath are on the attack, but Finn Russell, for some reason, fires an absolute bullet pass, point-blank range into poor Joe Cokanasiga. It bounces loose, and then Curry and Taylor do really well to spot the space. That's what these players are drilled into them. When there's a turnover, when there's a mistake, that is the time to strike and move the ball with a disorganised defence, and they do this perfectly. It's a 1-2 from Carpenter and Roebuck, and then the third member of the back three, O'Flaherty, latches onto the lovely chip from Carpenter. So it's a perfect counter-attack try off of a mistake, and Sale go into the lead for the first time, 21-23. Brilliant stuff. But you've got to say Russell, he is a genius, but sometimes he just overplays it, firing that missile pass into the player with probably the worst hands on their team wasn't a good move, and they paid for it. And as we mentioned, Tom Curry has been waiting for this for months, and he annihilates Bayliss with a number of massive tackles. Sale, they're absolutely buzzing, their energy is up, they are a high energy side. But they do get a little bit too excited and they start leaking penalties. A really poor one from the veteran hooker, Augustine Creevy, for some reason doesn't listen to the ref, continues to play the ball on the deck, and that is a horrible way to concede the lead back again. So 24-23 from the kick. Nice kick from Russell, but a cheap penalty. The game has started to tighten up, and I think there's some tired bodies out there, plus everyone knows that one mistake is going to cost this game. Who blinks first? You've got to love it when knockout matches are like this. But Sale, they are tackling well, but they're just too loose with that penalty count. A very needless offside gives Russell a 45-metre shot at goal, but Russell takes too long and the clock is running down, and he definitely has to rush that kick, and he pulls it wide. So that was a bad error from Bath there. And into the final 10 minutes, absolute vital championship minutes, you could say. Bath managed to pin Sale back in their own half, which is vital. And then just the smallest of touches from Sam James into touch gives Bath the attack, Bath the line out. They go to the maul, they pile everyone in. It looks a bit messy, but the job is done as Niall Annett piles over, and an important conversion from Russell takes the lead to 8 points beyond a converted try. So that was the nail in the coffin there. Slight margins, but in those championship minutes, Bath came good. And as the time runs out, Sale have to run everything, and Ted Hill, who's gone the full 80, looked great, absolutely nails Sam James to dislodge the ball and win the game. But you've got to say that over-enthusiasm from Sale in those last 10-15 minutes of the game really cost them. Poor discipline. I think it was 6 penalties in a row, they said in the commentary, and they gave Bath too much possession. They're too good to do that, and Sale, I think, deserved to lose because of that, but they'll definitely be kicking themselves because they had chances and they did so well to get back into the match and indeed take the lead. But Bath, a very strong side. They're very workmanlike up front. Their front five is very solid, if unspectacular. There's plenty of fireworks in the back row with Ted Hill and Barbary and Underhill. And then in the backs, they've got some firecrackers as well. But they've got everything they need to potentially win a game. But can they contain that Northampton attack? It's going to be awesome. So anyway, let me know what you thought of that game. Get in the comments below. Do like, do subscribe if you're into these sorts of videos, and I'll catch you next time.